All right, now this is Jesus and his disciples, but as a rock band. Hey, Brett, today we're doing something kind of crazy.
Crazy, okay.
Yeah,
All
so what we are doing in this video is I've seen these AI image generators, and we are going to be asking it to show us different things from the Bible.
Okay.
So basically how it's going to go is we're going to put different prompts in this program, and then we're going to be shown images, and they're going to get crazier and crazier as the video goes on.
Crazier and crazier.
All right, so for our
We're
first
not live
one,
streaming, yeah.
yes, exactly.
Right.
So for our first one,
Right.
we are going to have something simple. It's just going to be Jesus teaching his disciples.
Okay.
So we're going to see what it comes up
What
with.
kind of image? All right.
All right. So here is Jesus teaching his disciples. So
Okay.
my screen's a little bit smaller, so we're going to have to get kind of close here. Ooh, we can zoom in. But this is also, I don't know which one is Jesus. They kind of all look like Jesus.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but once you said it, I'm like, I think he's the one with the red little sash, little good deal.
Yeah, 'cause this
and
could
maybe
be
we
him.
Can strike out the guy that looks like me.
He could be there.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm assuming he's also in the middle of the huddle.
Yeah.
I like the huddle effect. I think that's kind of cool. Well, no, or is he the tall one standing there next to the guy?
That
in the
is a
huddle?
good question. It's kind of
Okay.
hard to tell. And
Are we allowed to ask? Will it answer us?
I don't know if we're that
guy in the middle.
advanced
Okay,
yet.
all right, okay.
Which one is Jesus?
It
Could
is
you-
artificial intelligence, so
That's
it should
true.
be able to answer that. Okay.
That is interesting. So they're
Yeah,
kind
that's
of on
kinda
a beach
cool.
here,
Okay,
and
yeah.
then they're sitting around a table. So do you think in Jesus' time this was...
Now this one is kind of I like it because it's not what you would expect. It's not based necessarily on like the Da Vinci Last Supper painting or
Yeah.
anything like that. It does show it more in the round kind of thing. Now in Jesus' day they did use more of a U-shaped tables as a
Okay.
thing, but possibly it could be something like that because it's weird that he's the only one at the table.
Well,
Maybe that
and
was
so
his-
with this program, it's usually more of an artistic rendition of it,
Okay.
and then the other program, it is sometimes looks almost photorealistic. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the same prompt, and the other one is called midjourney, which is a little bit more advanced.
Okay.
And we are going to put the same Jesus teaching his disciples into midjourney. All right. So here is the midjourney version of Jesus teaching his disciples. So I think immediately there's already kind of a quality difference. Like these feel a lot more detailed.
Right.
And these actually look like real people instead of just cartoon
They
characters.
do, but it's interesting. They look a little more traditional. At least some of them, like the
Yeah.
top right, is kind of more what you might expect to see hanging in a church lobby or something.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah.
the one on the top left is what you wouldn't necessarily. Looks a little bit like a modern spin, in
Yeah.
my view. I mean, because in the bottom right looks the most traditional of all to me.
Exactly.
Especially his haircut.
That's true. I
and
feel like
the
he
fact
should
he's
be
very
holding a
white.
lamb or something.
I mean, he definitely looks like the traditional Jesus. But it does pull information from the internet itself. That's what it's
Yeah,
gathering up its
exactly.
info. So it's going to come across that more than ever, and it's not going to comment on he shouldn't look as white as that or
That's true.
as European.
The next prompt that we're going to put in here is
Right.
going to be realistic Jesus. So we want to see
Oh, it
what
is,
AI
okay.
really thinks Jesus looked like, and we'll see. We can see. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I was right about that Megadeth thing. The top left, no, but he
Yeah.
does look like somebody. I don't even know what the bass player from Megadeth
Yeah.
looks like. I'm just saying.
but that's what he
Yeah,
looks like.
1975 to 1990 bass player for any given hard rock band.
So this is interesting, though, because, I mean, just as I don't know if I would say this looks like Jesus, but it does look like a realistic person.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it because, we all have the complaint. Like the top right, he looks like he's blow-dried his hair that morning, kind of thing. It's a little hard, kind of a little
He's
spray
super
there.
white.
Yeah, he looks like...
And then this guy looks like he's a villain in some Marvel movie.
Yeah. Now the bottom right looks more like kind of what would be in The Chosen. I mean, kind of one of the characters there looks a little bit. So he doesn't look completely, European or like he's from Indiana or something.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if it was real or not.
Ooh, okay. So here is Jesus and his disciples at the Last Supper.
Okay.
Okay, so here, my mind immediately went to what exactly are they eating?
Yeah, I'm wondering how they get 12 guys around that little B table.
I know it's like this is like in a tiny room. Yeah, I don't even know if there's 12.
They just have a half dozen around this one.
Hey, that was
Yeah,
easier.
right,
Also,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is.
They're all kind of piled around.
Is this Thor right here? Is this Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah. Or they're all thinking, could we have got a bigger room, bigger table?
I know, and I
Can
love
we get
that
a
at the
seat?
Last Supper, it's like you go to a restaurant and you're like table for 12, and then they have the 6 on one side, 6 on the other. Like, can we just do 12 just on the one side?
Yeah, that's right. So we're all looking at the camera. I guess, yeah, and then the top left is everybody piled around, kind of too deep.
Yeah,
with the red sash thing and whatever. Yeah,
That's
it
pretty
is funny
common.
how it is. it is very Western in its portrayals. I mean, it's not. If you were to kind of take this back historically accurate or whatever, it would have a different look. It just would. I mean, these are obviously are based upon Da Vinci stuff and other things that I'm sure are in cathedrals and everything else and stained glass windows.
Now, one of the prompts at the end is actually going to be the Last Supper, but with superheroes. Because that's possible. So we're going to see the similar thing, but with superheroes. So stay tuned until the end, and that'll be one of the last ones. Okay, so this one here is, this is the end of the world according to the Bible. So I had done this earlier, and I don't remember them being this dramatic. But these are very...
as dramatic. The end of the world seems like, by definition, would be
That's true,
dramatic.
but these are like very dramatic. You see like meteors coming in. Is that like a fire tornado? Multiple fire tornadoes.
But this, you really did put it in as according to the Bible. So it's trying to pull data from the Bible and say, okay, wait a minute, that looks really accurate.
I mean, you have thunder, lightning, fire everywhere.
And I wonder if, because this is something we are going to study, Jesus says literally as lightning strikes in the east, it will be seen in the west, or one of those. So the lightning thing is, because one thing can happen in one place. It's very prominent in his description, is the point.
This looks very prominent.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of saying,
you'd see this fire tornado from anywhere.
Oh, yeah, okay, that is a fire tornado.
I don't know if it's a volcano.
And so I wonder which city is it talking about. Is that supposed to be to Jerusalem back there? Can you zoom in on and see if, like, the Dome of the Rock's there or something?
Yeah. So here's kind of a dome thing here, but I don't know exactly. Because one of the other prompts that we're going to do is actually the destruction of Jerusalem.
Is that people down there?
Those are people down there.
Okay, so there are people...
And that gives a sense of scale.
Okay, that would be a little...
So if you woke up to this...
He would say...
What would you do?
Yeah. Now, one of the points that you can get from Jesus' words is it's unmistakable. You don't have to.
If you go outside and this is happening, you don't have to question.
That his coming is actually going to be unmistakable.
Like, wait a minute, fire tornadoes.
Now they didn't put like Jesus coming back. They just have destruction in the world itself.
Yeah, so we have that. But the Jesus coming back, that will be one of our prompts here.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So I kind of covered
the end of the world. And think, okay.
So very dramatic, fire, lightning, everything.
Yeah, fire, lightning, split.
Okay, so this is going to be the destruction of Jerusalem in the Bible.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is going to be a little bit...
It's like the end of the world.
It's like the end of the world, but in Jerusalem. So as you've been studying this, is this what it feels like?
Well, I guess one question is, and I'm having a hard time seeing, like, maybe we could blow one up, because it looks as though... Okay, because that looks like a church, or because I don't know that, like, the temple at the time would have looked like that. It wouldn't have had the rounded top thing, because that one looks like a church. It's not the Dome of the, or is it? I don't think it's supposed to be the Dome of the Rock.
Yeah,
but it looks like it is like more of a church.
All right, I just realized that I messed up. So I forgot to clear the space on the memory card, so we actually ran out of space on our camera. So unfortunately for the rest of the video, you won't be able to see our lovely faces. But the prompts do get crazier, so make sure you stick around to the end. Okay, so let me read you, before we look at this, let me read you this prompt. So this is from ChatGPT, and this is an image depicting the great celebration and worship that ensues upon Jesus' second coming as all creation rejoices in his presence.
Wow, okay. Well,
so it's very specific.
It gave you that prompt? Like,
so
it suggested a prompt.
Yeah, so I asked ChatGPT, what are some AI image generator prompts about Jesus' second coming?
Okay.
And that's what it gave me.
So it gave me that. It's like, hey, think it through, which is pretty impressive when it comes down to
it's
very new to say that, because I don't know that I would have put all that detail in there.
I wouldn't have. I don't even know
what those words mean. That's me 10X.
Exactly. So this is Jesus' second coming. Everyone's got their hands up.
Wow, okay, and the worship that ensues. I like the one in the bottom right because it kind of shows from the angle that it shows. A lot of nice little camera angle.
Yeah, a lot of times in these images you'll have like a low camera angle. You have this kind of hero shot.
Yeah. So is that confetti? What is the coming down in the air?
Looks like a bird exploded or something. Here's like some feathers.
No, I'm gonna go with that's not a bird exploding. But
well, that's the thing. So with some of these prompts, like if you just look at it at a glance, it looks normal, and then you look in, and you're like, what are those things? Like, what are there going to be dragons at his second coming? Or I guess those could be angels.
They could be angels, but they could be dragons. And the one at the top there looks like a shadow of a beaver or something. I don't think that's gonna happen. Over here, there's a little
tail. Here's
a giraffe.
the head and the legs.
It's like.
Confirmed. There will be beavers at Jesus' second coming. All right, so this one is again from ChatGPT. It's an image of heavenly gates adorned with precious gems and guarded by majestic angelic beings.
Okay.
So all just if you could imagine that as a picture, that's what it would be.
Yeah, I could imagine that as that picture. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite that good as far as the details. I like the one on the top right.
I kind of like the green one. It reminds me of like something you see in a Harry Potter movie.
Oh, it really does. Yeah, yeah. I like the color scheme in that one. I'll give you that.
I do like. You got like flowers around here. Yeah. Are these? Are they people? Now, if you get too close, you got some weird faces on these. I guess they're people.
Yeah.
Oh, and you got like heaven in there. So this is guarded by these angelic beings.
The two top ones are kind of similar to what's the being the top right one?
Top right.
The
up here?
Yeah, it's like two. You got the big wings and you got a smaller. Is that a horse? What is that? Is that a horse?
I don't know. That's the thing. A lot of times they'll just morph. They'll put wings on this random object that vaguely looks like something.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you got through the gates here. It looks very inviting, and then another. Oh, I guess these are the angelic beings that are guarding the gate. Yeah, the first one that we have here is again from ChatGPT, and the ones after that are a little bit more fun. Okay. This is a haunting visual representation of the Great Tribulation, with people seeking shelter amidst destruction and chaos.
Oh, okay. Wow, that covers it all. That's like a whole movie script right there. Just kind of this is what is going to happen. So
this is haunting.
That is haunting.
Okay,
yeah.
so what's going to happen in the Great Tribulation?
Stuff like that.
Stuff like this. Just bad times all around.
Bad times. You apparently it's going to be very haunting.
Very haunting.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about everything from natural disasters to some believe that there's going to be, obviously persecution for those who are here. Just destruction of the earth overall, and a lot of things that are going to panic people and all that sort of stuff.
These
so
people do. Yeah,
I could say that. Yeah, if you're in a city now that it is portraying that looks more ancient to me. That's not a modern picture. That's something that you would say probably like the destruction of Jerusalem. So maybe that's
because you don't see a Walmart in sight.
Yeah. And some believe that the Great Tribulation actually did happen back in 70 AD.
It already happened.
Another school of thought, and that's
Midjourney thinks it did.
Yeah, that's right.
Midjourney thinks Jesus already came back.
Maybe that's what they're saying. You should be a preterist at that point, and then
it's like the Left Behind series. We're all left behind
because this is, of course, it is a mix because that's a modern day church design because it's got a cross on top of it. That wouldn't have been in 70 AD.
Oh yeah.
So but it's not a Jewish looking building, so it's not.
And then some of these look a little bit more ancient. You got your
they
columns.
Look like something that would maybe I think it's mixing the two, maybe modern versus. Of course, I'm curious about how the people are dressed. Are they dressed in robes and stuff?
Yeah. I think it's kind of hard to tell, but I don't know. I can't tell if that's
like the bottom left there. The guy, he looks like he's in a white robe.
That's true.
So there's
or
not
is he
a lot
wearing
of guys.
khakis? I can't tell.
So
that's Jake from State Farm.
So it's like this strange blend of.
All right, so here are the really fun ones. That was kind of crazy. Here are the really fun ones. So this one, we did the Last Supper, Jesus and the Last Supper before. This is going to be the Last Supper, but with superheroes.
Okay.
All right, and here is the Last Supper, but with superheroes.
Okay.
So it is interesting, like I said, that a lot of these, you'll see that you have Superman here, but also Batman, and then maybe the Flash or Daredevil all put together. So it's very much a mashup of different things here. And these are all, I think they're DC characters. No Marvel characters in here. Except
now,
Iron Man.
So I didn't realize that.
See, I'm not a big superhero person, but I knew
but
at
you
least
knew that much. I didn't know that much.
What do you think about these, Brett?
The top. What's the top left?
Top left. Okay, so let's look at the top left here.
Okay, so that's
Captain America
thing going on there. Okay.
But he's got like a smaller shield.
He's got a smaller shield and then a giant shield
over there.
So. And who's on the far right over here? Who's that? Is that a?
I feel like I should. I feel like he's from the Age of Ultron. I don't know his name. And then this looks like the Goodwill version of Captain America
Now,
if he was 95.
Is there a villain in there that's like Judas, or do they try to do that?
Oh, so if I was more informed on what superheroes were.
Okay, because the classic painting has Judas with the money bag, and then the...
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy looks pretty
it's
menacing.
supposed to...
I think Judas is that guy.
Da Vinci's thing is supposed to be when he says, one of you will betray me, and they're all reacting.
Yeah.
It's that second. And so you still have Judas at the table, and he's got the money bag, and then they're all reacting and kind of wondering who it is, all that. So...
But it's either Batman, Superman, or Captain America that is represented.
Okay,
as Jesus,
that they went with Jesus. So
that's
is there one there to his left?
It's controversial, and they're eating. It looks like fried chicken, which I think is also biblically accurate, with plenty of seasonings.
That's right. That would have been.
All right. So here's Jesus and his disciples. Okay, so some of these are artistic. Okay. So
so you could see a modern artist doing some of those. The bottom right kind of strikes me that way. That would be an interpretive thing. That some commentary on music and worship or whatever else. So
you got the more realistic one, just the guy with long hair. And then I also like that they emphasize the rock band by having having rocks here.
Yes, that would do it. And again, they all look like Jesus. Except,
and then and you look at the arms again. Like this guy's arm is on his shoulder somehow, and then there's also another hand coming out of his head holding something.
Yeah. And I don't think that's probably just abstract art. I think it's its own little mistake here. But it did generate it in about, less than 30 seconds.
Less than 30 seconds. So this guy looks like he's having a little bit too much fun. He looks like he's about to eat the guitar here. So that's one of the most fun things about these AR. You can go through and look for all the different fun mistakes. Yeah, so that's kind of the different things that AI can do. So it has definitely been a crazy journey here. But you guys watching at home, if you have any ideas of what you want to see us put in this in the future, because like we were saying, we can put different kind of details in there or make it more specific or do other things in the Bible, maybe throw some revelation in there.
Yeah, that's right. And the kind of the learning that we already did was that you can go for more detail and like historical accuracy or try to push it to do that. That way you can, instead of just using your own imagination, you can get some help on picturing what things really look like, which would be helpful to, kind of respect the Bible on a whole different level.
Yeah, totally. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.